Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac. Oh.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Richie Scott. We're back with another video. I'm still trying to get out from under the weather, but we're gonna do it, and we're gonna drop the news for you guys just as I've been getting it. And let me tell y'all something. It's been a crazy day already, okay? Let's get into everything that we got to discuss. Now, first things first, we're talking basketball wise. Oh. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that button down below, hit the notification bell button so you can be clued into every time we drop new content right here on this very channel. Now let's get into it. We gotta talk basketball wives, right? And I'm starting to understand some of the disappointment that a lot of you guys are feeling. First of all, let me tell you exactly what's going on, okay? And then we're gonna get into our speculation and thoughts about it. So first things first, a preview for tonight's episode has just hit the airwaves, and you guys can check vh1.com for that. I'll put it in the link in the description below so you guys can check it out. Now, in this clip, we see Shawnee, Evelyn, Kristen, and Malaysia, I'm gonna call them the core four at this point, discussing the fact that Shawnee wants to take a girls trip out of the country to Costa Rica. So typically, when I watch these shows, one of the best aspects of the show is typically the big cast trip. You know, we as fans tend to get really excited about it. You know, we look forward to figuring out where they're gonna go, seeing the exotic locales, but also seeing the ladies get into it. Because as y'all know, the ladies, they always get into it majorly on the cast trip. So, as the core four are deciding who's gonna come, they're basically listing out the names of people that they want or don't want to come. So I'm gonna run down the list and we're gonna talk about it one by one. And I'm gonna label these people as the outcast, okay? And I think y'all know who they are. If you saw the thumbnail to this video, you are already clued into who half of them are anyway. So let's start off with Jackie. So Shawnee brings up the fact that she wants Jackie to come on the trip. Of course, Malaysia has issue with Jackie coming on a trip. Because they are currently still beefing or whatever. And she does not consider Jackie a friend. But, you know, for me, in my perspective, like somebody brought up this in the comments of one of my videos. They said we talk a lot about colorism, but we don't necessarily touch on the ageism comment. Because a lot of the ladies will poke fun at Jackie's age quite frequently. So I began to think, well, that's actually kind of true. The ladies do kind of harp on that, but at the end of the day, when you look across the franchises of a lot of these basketball wives, housewives, and whatnot, a lot of these women tend to be, the core groups tend to be in their 40s, 50s, and sometimes even 60s. And the reason why some of those ladies tend to be the most entertaining is because the older ladies, what I'm learning is most of them don't take themselves too seriously. And I think that Jackie is one of those people. So for Jackie to be however old she is, at the end of the day, she does not take herself so seriously, and she actually ends up being quite comical as a result. And we kind of need that comic relief on the show, and we're so used to having it. Now, for the ladies to try to ostracize her because of whatever happened with Malaysia and Anthony and all that, I think is kind of unfair. Number one, Jackie has been on this particular franchise from the very beginning and has been such an integral part of it. Now, people can say Jackie is a bully. People can say Jackie is slightly psychotic. People can call her what they want to call her, but what she is a mainstay on this particular franchise, and she definitely needs to be invited on this trip. And I think that it should be mandatory that all of them have to attend the trip regardless. I've never seen a franchise do so many crazy things where people don't have to participate. And what happens is it makes the show less watchable. because what we want to see is eventual resolution. And it seems to me that we have a show wherein one click determines exactly who's in and who's out. Now, what I think that is unfair is what we see with Housewives, and I'm just comparing the two, is despite whatever happens, everybody is always included on the cast trip, despite there being two separate teams or two separate groups or whatever, however it's divided, we see everybody participate. I think it's unfair for them to try to single out Jackie and not have her go along on the trip, because otherwise it's just going to be a group of 4 girls who just get along. The next person that they are trying to ostracize from this group is Cece. Now, I feel like this. Cece, by her own choice, or by her soon-to-be husband's choice, seems to play less of a part on the show because she doesn't feel like dealing with the drama. And truth be told, most of the ladies don't like her anyway. So, to me, I understand why she definitely wouldn't go. But what I want to backtrack on something is about this. We've seen this clip of Evelyn running up on Cece, and we talk about how OG pulls her off or whatever. But what I noticed was online when I was checking the BBWT, basically they had posted this little clip of, or I think it was Twitter, that Cece was basically commenting and saying, yo, this is how you prevent someone from attacking you from behind. And she has a name for the move and everything. So what I do believe is that, having seen her in her little boxing classes and her fight club classes, I definitely think that Cece might not be as big of a punk as some of us have been maybe thinking that she was in the past. And it would be interesting. I'm going to be interested to see how that whole fight situation plays out. So we do know that she does end up going, but it's interesting that the ladies try to not really have her go on the trip. Now, the next person I'm going to talk about that they don't really, Shawnee's going to invite her, but she's not going to show up because Evelyn's there, and that is Tami. Am I surprised that Tami's not going? No, I'm not surprised that she's not going. We already know she's not even going to the reunion. And I believe that tonight's episode is going to be her final episode on the series in general. So, and from the previews, it looks like she just walks right out of the scene while doing a confessional. This is my thing. And y'all can hate me or whatever, but I hate that Tami did not take her role so seriously. And I almost wish that she would not have even come back if she was going to just sort of disrespect her show. Because as professional as I think that she is, and she wants to be seen on other productions and such, you can't have the attitude, particularly as a participant, that you just will not participate because there's somebody else on set that's antagonizing to you. Truth be told, in one of my in a previous occupation, I won't say which, I had to work on set every day with someone who I knew did not like me. Knew it. This person was just like rude, nasty, would steal my reads that I was supposed to read, and me being the new person on set, I just didn't know how to handle it, because usually, I'm a friendly person. I don't have any ill will towards anybody, and I just want everybody to win. That's my personality always. But I think what had happened was, me being the new person on set, what happened was he just couldn't handle it. So, but for me, at the end of the day, I showed up every day regardless. Now, the same can be said for Tami. Just because Evelyn's there doesn't mean that you have to give that person any energy. So there's that. The next person that I want to discuss is Jennifer. And I think that this is going to be a big point of contention, because at the end of the day, whether they like her or not, and I can't quite figure out why they don't like her right now, because I felt like when she, first of all, Shawnee invited her to, when they went to San Diego, then they all went to her event, but they're mad because she had a photo op with them. But that's what people do at events. So at the end of the day, who cares? You gotta get, at a certain point in time, you gotta get over it. And Evelyn, if you and her made up, y'all ain't gotta be best friends. You don't have to be. But at the end of the day, to ostracize her and to isolate her so that she's not a part of the trip, you end up icing her out. And what happens is, if you ice out everybody that you don't get along with, then we don't have a good show. And then finally, they really don't want OG to come, but they're basically only inviting OG because they want to have, they want Jackie to have somebody to, you know, kind of be buddy with, because the rest of them aren't really feeling Jackie. And quiet as is kept, in the scene when you're watching it, they almost forgot about Phoebe. Somebody had to actually bring her up because she has not really been that much of a story on the show. Anyway, listen, I've been listening to y'all, been reading y'all comments, and I'm starting to see whether it's colorism or whether it's some type of clique behavior, there is definitely something going on here, and there is something definitely broken with this particular franchise. And hopefully, whatever happens between now and next season, because I've heard that there's going to be a season 9, I hope that they fix this issue. And I hope that OG comes back, and I hope that they can learn how to sort of build a cast that's not so cliquish, and that they don't try to ice people out. Because that just, I don't think it's cool, and neither do the viewers. Let me know if you agree. Comment down below if you're excited about tonight's episode. And subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.